just when you think you've seen it all, nature finds a new way to freak us all out. As an ER doctor, I've seen my share of strange infections, but parasites are in a league of their own. Today, we're going even deeper into the nightmare. These are the next 5 parasites that make even doctors squirm. All right, let's dive right in. Number 5, Toxoplasma gondii, aka the mind controller. Imagine a parasite so subtle you might not even know you have it, but it can literally alter your behavior. Toxoplasma gondii is a microscopic protozoan parasite, most commonly spread by one of my favorite animals, cats. People usually get infected by cleaning litter boxes, but that's not the only way. They can also get it by eating undercooked meat or contaminated produce, gardening or handling soil where cats have been, drinking untreated water, eating raw or cured meats like pork or venison, or even sipping unpasteurized goat's milk. And the most dangerous route, from mother to baby during pregnancy, which can lead to serious fetal brain damage. That's why if you are pregnant, they always say to avoid cleaning the kitty litter if you can. In healthy adults, it often causes mild, maybe flu-like symptoms. But here's where it gets medically wild. This parasite forms cysts in your brain, and studies show it can actually change animal behavior. Mice infected with Toxoplasma lose their natural fear of cats, which makes them easier prey. So what's the treatment? Antiparasitic drugs like pyrimethamine and sulfadiazine are used, especially in immune-compromised patients or pregnant women. Can it kill you? Luckily, it's rare, but if your immune system is weak, it can cause fatal brain inflammation. But before you go into full panic mode, petting your cat isn't the issue. Cats only shed infectious eggs for a short time after eating infected prey, and those eggs have to sit in the environment for several days before becoming contagious. So if you keep your cat indoors, cook your meat thoroughly, wash your produce, and maybe let someone else handle the litter box during pregnancy, you'll be just fine. Number 4, Schistosoma. This one might be less known to the US, but brace yourselves because it affects over 200 million people worldwide, mostly in Africa, South America, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. And the way you get it, that's the creepy part. Schistosoma are parasitic flatworms, also known as blood flukes, and they don't need a bite, a cut, or even a scratch to invade your body. All it takes, unfortunately, is contact with contaminated fresh water where infected snails live. These snails are like tiny biological factories, releasing thousands of microscopic larvae called stercoralis that swim freely in the water. When those larvae touch human skin, they literally drill their way inside, and within minutes, they're in your bloodstream. From there, they migrate through your body, eventually setting up camp in the veins around your intestines, bladder, or liver, depending on the species. And once paired up, the male and female worms can live together for years. The female lays hundreds of eggs a day, and while some are flushed out through urine or feces, many though get stuck in your tissues, and that's when your immune system freaks out. The body launches a massive inflammatory response, forming granulomas, essentially little immune fortresses around each egg. Over time, these reactions cause scarring and fibrosis in critical organs. The result, chronic abdominal pain, bloody urine or stool, liver damage, and bladder thickening. Patients can develop portal hypertension, splenomegaly, and anemia from blood loss. In the ER, you might see a traveler or a non-local with abdominal swelling, anemia, or unexplained hematuria, a condition where there is blood in the urine. And you'd never guess the culprit is a tiny worm they picked up while swimming a decade ago in some remote area. Number 3, Taenia solium, the pork tapeworm. You've probably heard of tapeworms before, right? The classic horror story of something long, flat, and squirming around inside your gut. But there's one species that turns a simple infection into something far more sinister. Meet Taenia solium, a parasite so invasive it can turn one undercooked bite of pork into a slow-moving medical slasher that plays out inside your own body. So how do humans get it? In 2 very different ways. The first way is the typical tapeworm infection, eating undercooked pork containing larval cysts. Once inside, those cysts hatch in your intestines and grow into long, ribbon-like worms that can stretch up to 20 feet in length. The adult worm's head, called a scolex, is equipped with hooks and suckers that latch onto the intestinal wall like a microscopic grappling hook, feeding off whatever nutrients you eat. And it can quietly live inside you for years, sometimes decades, without you realizing it. The second route, auto-infection, is where things get truly terrifying. If you ingest the eggs of the tapeworm instead of the cysts, the larvae don't stay in your gut. They hatch, burrow through your intestinal wall, and migrate into your muscles, eyes, and even your brain. This condition is called cystosarcosis, and it's one of the most dangerous parasitic infections on Earth. When these cysts die and rupture, they trigger a massive immune reaction in the brain, leading to swelling, inflammation, and seizures. Some patients also develop hydrocephalus, where spinal fluid builds up due to blockage, creating dangerous pressures inside the skull. So how do you even treat something this invasive? Drugs like praziquantel or nicosamide can evict the adult worms pretty quickly. But once the larvae make it to your brain, it's a whole different ballgame. So the age-old question, can it kill you? Unfortunately, yes. Severe brain infections can be fatal if untreated, and even survivors often deal with long-term neurological problems like chronic seizures or cognitive decline. Number 2, Strongyloides stercoralis, the auto-infecting worm. This one's sneaky and relentless, a microscopic roundworm that's mastered the art of survival. Most parasites infect, reproduce, and eventually leave. But this one, it finds a way to move in and torment your life permanently. Humans usually pick it up by walking barefoot on contaminated soil. The larvae can penetrate skin without a single bite or wound. Once inside, they hitch a ride through the bloodstream to the lungs, crawl up the airways, and are swallowed down into the intestines. And it's there where they finally mature and start reproducing. Unlike most roundworms, Strongyloides doesn't always leave the body after reproduction. Instead, its larvae can hatch inside your intestines, burrow through the intestinal wall, and re-enter your bloodstream, starting the entire process over again. That means you can literally reinfect yourself from the inside out. This process, called autoinfection, allows Strongyloides to persist for decades, even after the initial exposure. Some patients who were infected in their 20s don't develop major symptoms until their 60s, when their immune systems weaken. In immune-compromised patients, this parasite shifts from creepy to catastrophic. When the immune system is suppressed, the larvae multiply uncontrollably and spread throughout the body in what's known as hyperinfection syndrome. They invade the lungs, liver, brain, and bloodstream, and all while dragging intestinal bacteria with them. The result? Septic shock, meningitis, pneumonia, and multi-organ failure. This is one of those infections where the thing killing you isn't just the worm, it's the chain reaction your body just can't stop. Number 1, Paragonimus westermani. Okay, picture this. You've coughed for weeks, maybe even months. You've got chest pain, you're wheezing, losing weight, and everyone assumes it's pneumonia or tuberculosis. But then the scans come back, and what's inside your lungs isn't infection, it's movement. You get it from eating undercooked or raw freshwater crabs or crayfish, often in traditional dishes where the shellfish are pickled, smoked, or lightly steamed instead of fully cooked. The larvae can survive that process, hatch in your intestines, and then begin their slow, methodical journey through your body. Once they penetrate the intestinal wall, they migrate through the abdominal cavity, pierce the diaphragm, and finally enter the lungs. There, they burrow into the lung tissue, form fluid-filled cysts, and start feeding on blood and pulmonary tissue. Over time, your body tries to wall them off with fibrotic scar tissue, but the damage is already done. There are documented cases where radiologists have seen flukes moving across chest x-rays, literally crawling shadows shifting inside the lungs. The go-to medications are praziquantel and triclobendazole, powerful antiparasitics that paralyze and kill the worms. Most people recover well with early treatment, though advanced cases may need additional care for lung scarring or secondary bacterial infections. Can it kill you? Yes, but that's rare. What's far more common is the permanent lung damage it leaves behind. Fibrosis, chronic cough, and infections that can last for life. So there you have it. 5 more parasites you never ever want to meet if you can help it. If you found this equal parts fascinating and gross, you might also like this playlist where I have videos on the world's most deadly foods, ancient medical practices that will terrorize your dreams, and other videos that will make you be grateful for modern healthcare. Please do me a favor and smack that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.